Thank you, Chairman Pfluger. Thank you for your service to our country, especially to all those men and women who are currently serving our nation, whether it be in the military, federal employees that are still working, showing up on their job, but because of Chuck Schumer and Democrats who have bowed to the socialist radicals in their party, those federal workers are not getting paid. We've talked up here for weeks now about some of those hardships, how it's going to affect people, and ultimately now how it is affecting people. Those impacts are now being felt. It's not hypothetical anymore. It's not some memo from a department laying out what might happen. We're starting to hear those stories. You can see, and our conference chair, Lisa McLean, has done a really good job of compiling a lot of the work that's being done by many of our colleagues. One of the reasons we're not meeting in session is because the Democrats shut down the government, but also because of that shutdown, our members are now busy in their districts mopping up a lot of the mess created by those Democrats because of the shutdown, the hardships it's created on families. And those are real hardships, and I applaud my colleagues who are in their districts trying to figure out ways to help people during this difficult time, working with food banks to get food to people who are missing SNAP benefits, WIC payments, military members who are not getting paid, but they're overseas, as Chairman Pfluger talked about. While their family's still here, those babies still have needs, and yet the paycheck's not coming in. Those bills are still due. And Democrats think this is some kind of game. Speakers talked about this over and over again, but what has their reaction been? Not figuring out a solution to get out of it, an off-ramp. It's doing stupid TikTok videos, making fun of this situation, thinking that the American people are leverage in their game to get some kind of unachievable goal, $1.5 trillion in new spending, $200 billion in taxpayer benefits for illegals, gutting $50 billion out of a healthcare fund for rural hospitals. And again, they try to claim it's about something else. Maybe it's about healthcare. Well, if it was about healthcare, they wouldn't be gutting $50 billion out of the rural healthcare fund. They wouldn't have fought, by the way, on the Senate floor months ago to remove a provision, the cost-sharing ratios, that would have lowered premiums on families by 11%. It was in our bill. We voted for it, passed out of the House. Democrats are still to this day bragging that they removed that provision from the bill that would have lowered premiums, health insurance premiums on families by 11%. And they want to talk about health care? Give me a break. Look at what they've done. They've wrecked the health care system. They fought to raise premiums on families. Democrats have over and over again, and now they're imposing real pain on American families with this shutdown. We've got some new numbers that have come in, and these are not good numbers, unfortunately. Reuters reported more than 2,700 flight delayed nationwide on Monday, and more than 8,600 flight delays just Sunday. 8,600 flight delays. Think of how many families were impacted. Every flight, well over 100 people on each one of those 8,600 flights that were delayed, all because Chuck Schumer and radical Democrats want to use American people as leverage. A Democrat aide said they won't concede short of, quote, planes falling out of the sky. Who are these people? Didn't they once care about this great nation and making it better? And now they think if a plane falls out of the sky, that's their leverage? For what? Goodness. Chuck Schumer, quote, every day gets better for us. Who is us? Because I can tell you who them are. The American people are sick and tired of Chuck Schumer and his friends thinking it's a better day for him when they are feeling more pain. Senator Coons, quote, the point of this shutdown is not just suffering for suffering's sake, but to make a point, as if suffering of the American people is not enough. We've heard, of course, over and over again, Catherine Clark, shutdowns are terrible. Of course, there will be families that are going to suffer, but it is one of the few leverage times we have. They keep saying over and over again, they know American people are suffering. They don't care. They want leverage for themselves. They want to show off to their radical socialist base. Bernie, of course, Bernie Sanders, who was on the stage with AOC over with Mandami the other day with their socialist love fest. Bernie, quote, "You reopen the government and we lose our leverage." That's what this whole shutdown is about. They're telling you what they mean. Democrats sourced in the Hill article last week that we talked about, quote, "We would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine." This is Democrats being afraid of their own base because their base is so radical that they're afraid of their base. The American Federation of Government Employees, we talked about this yesterday, came out and said, quote, "It's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship." Rep. Amelia Sykes said, quote, "We know that people are going to suffer if we don't open the government. People will go hungry." Well, she knows it. She's causing that hunger, but let's put a point on this. In an ABC article regarding the 42 million Americans that are going to lose SNAP benefits next week, Joel Berg, who's the CEO of the nonprofit Hunger Free America, said this, quote, "We are going to see the greatest hunger crisis since the Great Depression." And that's not hyperbole, that's just true. The greatest hunger crisis since the Great Depression, when 42 million people lose their SNAP benefits this weekend. What are these Democrats waiting for? This is not a game. This is not leverage. They're taking food off the table for families, for babies. It's disgusting. It's time to end the madness. They can go on the Senate floor today. Just 5 of them need to get courage. Just 5 of them need to get the courage to do the right thing and open the government today and end this pain and end the suffering that they've caused. Then we can go negotiate our differences. Yield to the whip. Time ever.